A few short months after he left London Stadium, could Łukasz Fabiański be about to make a sensational return to West Ham United? But what does this mean for Graham Potter and, more pertinently, for our recruitment? We'll get into that. Guys, there's a comment section below. I want you to get your opinions in here. I'm really interested in what you've got to say about this because this is a bit of a double-edged sword for me. I'm quite conflicted. Anyway, have a little look down there where it says subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the channel, if you could do us a favor and just get your mouse, click that little button there and change it from subscribe to subscribed, that would help. We're at 15:44 as I record this, and it doesn't cost you a copper coin. We don't have any of your data sensitive information. It takes a second of your time, and it helps to grow the channel into something bigger and better down the track. Also, the most important thing is to put the thumbs up on this, because that will get this content out there into places it otherwise wouldn't get. As I always say, my name's Rob Gates, not Bill Gates. I don't know how this stuff works, but that's apparently what happens. So we'll go with it. But anyway, really would appreciate your help. And as I say, get your comments in the section below. So, a couple of months ago, we obviously let a raft of players go, didn't we? There was Michail Antonio, there was Aaron Cresswell, etc., etc., etc. In and amongst all of those players that went on was a 40-year-old goalkeeper, Łukasz Fabiański, who came to the club in 2018. Polish international, had previously been at Swansea, had previously been at Arsenal. We forgave him for that. And he actually went on, and in those 7-odd years that he was with the club, did some really great things. In those 7 years, he made in total 216 appearances in all competitions and was a member of the squad, although he didn't play in the final. But he was a member of the squad that won our first piece of silverware in 43 years in 2023 when we lifted the Europa Conference League in Prague. A great moment for a great servant for the club. He kept 92 clean sheets, and he managed a save percentage of 72% by all accounts. I'm looking at this here on an article in front of me. Not fact checked it, but it's got to be right, isn't it? Anyway, so, but at 40 years of age, and with 2 seasons, more or less, where he was effectively the number 2, or maybe a 1.5, I don't know, because there were a few times when him and Areola would kind of be in competition, but Areola in the main was the number 1 for the last 2 seasons. And then after the last game of the season, I was lucky enough to be there away at Ipswich. He played in that last game, and we bid a fond farewell. Now, obviously, we then go and have this hunt for a goalkeeper. There's various names that are bandied around. Andre Onana's name popped up at one point. God, don't even go there. John Victor, goalkeeper from Botafogo in Brazil. He was on the radar. Pierce Charles, young goalkeeper at Sheffield Wednesday. There was a number of names that was linked. But Mads Hermansen, by common consensus, was the goalkeeper that Graham Potter really wanted. Great with his feet, apparently. Doesn't look so good at stopping the ball going in the back of the net, but that's another story. Anyway, so we spent 18 million quid, 15 million quid, 20 million quid, somewhere in that. We get this goalkeeper in. 24, 25 years of age, Danish international, had previously been at Leicester City. Interesting little fact, and not a great one, is that of all the goalkeepers that have played at least 20 Premier League games, Mads Hermansen has the lowest percentage of clean sheets kept. There is one goalkeeper in Premier League history who has played at least 20 games who has a worse clean sheet percentage. Now, interestingly enough, that goalkeeper, until a very short time ago, as I record this, was actually on our books as well. Wes Foderingham, our third choice goalkeeper. He's now gone to a team in Cyprus. Good luck to him. No problem. but he was never ever going to play, really, was he? Not unless something really bad happened. League One Wes, as he was called by Paolo Di Canio all those years ago. So Mads Hermansen comes in, brilliant. Makes his debut away at Sunderland. Again, I was very lucky enough to be there. And I don't think he covered himself in glory, but maybe he was nervous, whatever. Then get the Chelsea game, and again, a couple of goals there that you just look at and go, wow, that's poor. That shouldn't happen to a top-level goalkeeper. Now, at that point, and the transfer window was still open at this point, again, there was certain names. Now, John Victor, who, before we signed Mads Hermansen, was by all accounts at an airport departure lounge, about to jump on a plane and come across the Atlantic to sign on the dotted line, and apparently got told, that's all right, mate. You stay there. You go back to your club. We're going to go with this Danish fella. You can stand down. Probably not the way you should do business, but it is what it is. Anyway, so we get Mads Hermansen in. You fast forward. First two games look a little bit dodgy. And now, by all accounts, we're looking to phone Botafogo and get a deal done for John Victor. Interestingly enough, they didn't pick the phone up. Now, isn't that strange? Who'd have thought it? As I say, Andre Onana's name popped up. And then there was that performance that he put in for Man United against Grimsby. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. How he can call himself a goalkeeper, I do not know. He's got himself a loan move to Trabzonspor in Turkey, one of their bigger clubs, not one of the big three, but they're a club that has still got quite a bit of pedigree in Turkey. He's gone there. How desperate must they have been? But anyway, so all this is going on. Areola wants out by all accounts, but the transfer window shuts and he's still in. But we've moved today. It's been announced that Wes Foderingham has moved on to play his football in Cyprus. Good luck to him. But now there's news that Łukasz Fabiański is about to come back. Now, I loved Łukasz Fabiański. Let's get this out there. Łukasz Fabiański, fantastic servant. One of the best goalkeepers I've seen in my time watching West Ham United. One of the best. Right up there with Ludo Miklosko, in my opinion. I didn't see enough of Phil Parkes in his prime years. Goalkeepers like David James, Rob Green, pretty high on the list. But I'd say Fabianski is up there and comparable with them. One of the best goalkeepers I've seen in my time as a West Ham. At 40 years of age, though, we're looking to re-sign him. Now, there's that romantic part of me that I'm quite sort of happy about it. You know, a returning hero coming back into the claret and blue family, into the West Ham fold. But then there's that other part of me that looks at the recruitment and the decisions that are made there that have led us to a point where we're re-signing only a few short months after we've released this player. We're re-signing him at 40 years of age. During the course of this season, he'll turn 41. Now, realistically, I wouldn't actually, and I know is he going to be the number 2 goalkeeper? Is he going to be the number 3 goalkeeper? I don't know. And to be honest with you, there's actually a little part of me that thinks he might even, at some point during the course of this season, if Mads Hermansen carries on putting in performances too often like he did in his first two. And I'm glad that he got a clean sheet, by the way, away at Forest. But let's be honest, they didn't really threaten us none too much. I think it will be a different thing in the game against Tottenham. So we'll see how he copes with that. But I actually wouldn't be shocked if at some point this season, Łukasz Fabiański gets a run in the team and is effectively our number 1. And again, whilst there's that little bit of a romantic element where I go, yeah, great. And if he can still do it, fantastic. But is this not a damning indictment on our recruitment, I ask myself, that we've gone back to a player 40 odd years of age and a few months after we've released him, we're going back and saying, "Here, mate, do you want a job again?" I mean, we did it with Carlton Cole all those years ago. Do you remember that? We let him go, decided he wasn't right for us, and then went, "Hey, Carlton, come here, mate, get your boots back on. What next? Are we going to give Michail Antonio a contract? Is that the, and that wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me. Mickey Antonio getting a contract because, let's be honest, Fulkrug's out with a calf injury. Who knows how long he's going to be out for? Callum Wilson's not exactly robust, Neil, is he? So what? He goes down lane. We're going to sort of like, hello, Nick. Yeah, You doing anything Saturday? Yeah. We got Brentford away. Yeah. What do you reckon, mate? I mean, seriously. This shows up our recruitment for all that it is. Just shambolic. Absolutely shambolic. We've got a goalkeeper in Areola who, by all accounts, wanted out. We haven't let him go. So he's still earning, 125 grand a week. We've got a superstar goalkeeper who can spray passes around like Trevor Brooking, but has trouble keeping the ball out the back of the net. That's great. And then we bring a guy back into the building who a couple of months ago we kicked into touch, who's now 40 years of age. And in and around that, we had a thought that we're going to sign Andre Onana. Seriously? Like I say, I'm quite conflicted, I got to tell you. I love Łukasz Fabiański, and I hope he comes in, and I hope he does well. But we've just spent somewhere between 15 and 20 million pounds on a goalkeeper who we've already got doubts about, and now we're turning back to a player who's, I think it's fair to say, in his latter years as a professional footballer. I know goalkeepers can go on for a bit longer, but come on. Shocking decision making, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's just the joined up thinking just isn't there. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. As I say, I reiterate, I hope Łukasz does well. Fantastic servant for the club. And I'm not saying he's a crap goalkeeper or anything like that. Seriously, it could well be that at some point this season, he could well be our number one. But that, I really think, shines a light on how really poor in terms of the decision making a lot of our recruitment decisions have been in this last transfer window. This just shows it up for what it is, in my opinion. But what do you think? Are you happy with re-signed or about to re-sign Łukasz Fabiański by all accounts? Or do you think that actually, like me, that, okay, yeah, there's a romantic element to this, but I think the bigger picture is that our recruitment needs an overhaul badly. We can't carry on like this, can we? Let me know what you think. Comments in the section below. Don't forget to click subscribe. As I say, we're looking to grow the channel on bigger and better things, and we need your help. There's about 60% of the viewership when I last looked in the last 28 days that watch our content, but for whatever reason aren't subscribed. Let me reassure you, it doesn't cost you anything. It takes no time at all. You see that where it says subscribe down below? If you just click that, it changes to subscribed. Also hit the bell and click all, because then when we stick stuff on the channel, you'll be notified straight away. And don't forget to click the thumbs up, because that will kick the old algorithms into life and our stuff will fly out to West Ham fans all over the world. What's not to like? We're all one West Ham family, aren't we? Let's all help one another out. Anyway, get your thoughts in the comment section below. I will see you next time. Stay safe. Come on, you Irons.